Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start right at 7:30 on the dot. So I'm just going to mute myself till then, but at 7:30, we'll start the meeting. We'll have this recorded as well, and we'll make sure we send this out to the coaches and teams. But we'll start exactly at 7:30 in about 3.5 minutes.
Around and around and around.
Yeah.
You getting good at diving in? That good angle?
Number one, there's like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8. I like 1 the most. It's my lucky number. Let's say 3 is the one that I was assigned at first, and then and that was the one that kept on hurting, like my nose, my legs. So number 1 is my lucky number there.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming to the Zoom meeting tonight. This is in reference to the meet this weekend, the 2021 GCY Winter Invitational, which is a closed Y meet. So we have 7 Y teams attending, and we're excited to host everyone. We start tomorrow, and we just ran off the heat sheets just a few minutes ago. So they are on our webpage. We'll be emailing them out to coaches to post on their webpage as well. So those have just been the latest things we've posted, and they are out. And what I want to do is just go through the in tonight's meeting, the logistical COVID protocols for the meet. We want the swimmers to swim fast and I think they will. And it's a great atmosphere. The GAC has made it a great atmosphere, and we're excited to be here. And I think there'll be some fast swimming this weekend. Our volunteer link filled up pretty quickly. I'm going to click on that real quick, and just to kind of show you, if you're interested in volunteering, there are some spots left. Looks like we need one more timer for our Friday night session. Thanks for everyone that is timing. It looks like that session, what's posted is the initial timeline before scratches. So I think that session's going to end before, possibly before 8 p.m. So I think it's going to be a 2-hour or less session for sure on tomorrow night. But it looks like we need one more timer there. And there's just a few spots here and there. Just to go through some of those volunteer spots first, because I know we have a lot of parents on here. You will arrive at the meet with your team's check-in time. And the GAC staff, as well as our volunteers, will give you a brief tutorial on what to do. So if you've never timed, if you've never been a meet marshal or watched the staging area, that'll all be explained to you. If you have experience in those areas, we'd love to have you. There's still a lot of spots out. So even something like a meet announcer, our meet announcer is basically just announcing the next heat to the blocks and the next heat to staging area 1, the next heat to staging area 2. So it's very simple, and it's not a packed house. Only the swimmers and volunteers are there, no spectators. So if you'd like to volunteer and see the meet live, there's still a few spots left that we have that's available to you. And certain meet marshals are with certain teams. Those meet marshals will be monitoring the swimmers upstairs as they will be sitting in the stadium. Just going to go back to our meet event page. And if you are interested in volunteering, the link is there. I think most of you have been emailed the link as well. We'd love to have you. Swimmers reminders, these are kind of the main things.
I wanted to listen.
But swimmers will be seated upstairs in the stadium section, socially distanced and masked, not on the deck. And they'll come down on the deck for competing, for warming up, for cooling down, or using the restrooms. The locker rooms serve as the last restrooms for this meet, but they're not changing rooms. They're just to be used for going to the bathroom. The swimmers should be masked until getting in the pool, and a plastic bag for their mask is highly recommended. At a swim meet, the mask is inevitably going to get wet, just like a towel. So it would be a good idea to have multiple masks for backups and things when a mask maybe gets wet and no longer comfortable wearing. So we'd suggest that as well. The GAC has asked for no changing, as locker rooms are for restroom use only. Swimmers should come in suits ready to compete. It helps if you have a copy of the heat sheet or heats, lanes, events on your arms. And swimmers, this meets, first time GAC is doing this, we're doing dive overs. I think most of you are used to that. There are some exceptions. We're not doing dive overs for backstroke, obviously. And for some of the younger events, the 25s, don't imagine we'll be doing dive overs for those events. But we for all the other events, including the Friday distance night, we will be doing dive over starts. This page kind of has everything you need to know. And one of the things that is just going out, and I emailed this to your coaches late, so if you've not gotten it yet, it's my fault, not theirs. We emailed this out about 4 o'clock this afternoon, but these are the warm-up times for your teams. The doors, it may be a good idea. These are very small sessions. These meets at the GAC are not like grueling 4-hour, 5-hour sessions. as we did in the past. They're basically 1 hour for warm up and a 2-hour meet. So you're there like 3 hours or less. So, and you can certainly leave after your last event. So most swimmers won't be staying until the very, very last heat of the last event. So most swimmers will be out of there in less than 3 hours. So we'd encourage you to come right at door opening at 5. The teams will gather out front and walk in. And it helps if we have as many swimmers there as possible as we walk in. The GAC will actually do a brief walk over the meet with the teams if they're there on time at the 5 o'clock at the first 5:15 period. So we'd encourage you to be there at that time if you can. We tried to put the teams coming furthest away on late warm-up starts every time, and the teams that are closer the first warm-up. But just getting back to the event page, those warm-up assignments have just come out. The team's seating assignments are coming up now on the screen. This is the stadium, and upstairs looking down at the pool. Fast will be in section 2. It's very clearly labeled. We'll skip a section here. WNCY will be towards the side 3 of section 4. YSST will be towards the section 4 side in section 5. GCY in section 6. RAC will be in the section 7 towards section 8. Tide will be in section 8 towards section 9. And Loy, you'll have section 10. The GAC did this. Loy, I apologize. I think every GAC meet you've been down here, and I'm just realizing you're on the opposite side of where you typically are. But you'll go down through these hallways and enter the pool deck. There's a map that we also have for the deck map. And this will populate shortly too. And let's see if I can enlarge that a little bit. Team entrances, parents, if you're dropping your swimmers off, this is the ACC Hall of Fame entrance over here, and you can just drive in through a little traffic circle around here and drop the swimmers off. This area right here is huge. This diagram doesn't do it justice. I don't think this is to scale, but this is a very large area where the teams will just gather in groups before the check-in time. Coaches, we're asking that you do all the typical screening you do with your teams. For GCY, we'll do the screening questions, and everyone will be taking temperatures before we come in. We'll go upstairs to the stadium, to our seating areas, and then basically warm up. We have the competition pool here. This is the scoreboard pool, and this is the general area where we're at. There's an entrance, which used to be hospitality. Everyone enters the pool area through hospitality. So that used to be a big no-no. You couldn't go through hospitality, but now that's the entrance now, through hospitality. There's lots of hooks and things along the walls all around the pool for you to hang a towel on or that kind of thing. The GAC, actually, some teams I know take their masks right up to the lane, which we do. The GAC's requirement is just on the hooks. So you can take your mask off and then go right to the lanes and swim. If you are competing, you need to keep your mask on through the staging areas. And the staging areas is like a clerk of chorus. This is staging area 1 underneath the main scoreboard. And you'll just be in your lanes. You'll be 2 heats away from swimming. This is staging area 2. You'll be getting behind the blocks as the heat prior to you clears out, and you'll be going up behind the blocks as the heat in front of you, I guess, is completing their event. So the 2 heats prior to you is climbing out. After you compete, you'll put your, before you compete, you'll put your stuff in a basket, and that will be relocated from where you put it in. You'll put the stuff in a basket behind your lanes. They'll relocate that to its corresponding number in the cool down area. And that cool down area is just dry land. That's not like a pool, but your stuff will be there. And when you catch your breath enough to where you feel like, okay, I can put on my mask now and go talk to my coach or walk to the warm down pool. Before you leave that cool down area, you must put your mask back on, and then you go back up to the stadium or this purple area. I know I can't read that either. It's really small, but that purple area is where the coaches are. That's where so you'll be walking right by the coaches. A lot of your feedback will be very brief right there. And then back up to the top to sit down and wait for your next event, or preferably to the cool down pool to cool down. These lanes stay open the whole meet. And there's just got to remember, swimmers, there's a limit of 4 swimmers per lane. So if there's 4 swimmers in a lane, you got to find another one. There's 12 lanes right there. And we're asking, I believe that most of you, just be careful and safe when you get in and out of the pool, and have your mask ready to grab too. Going back to and I know we'll probably have questions at the end. I'll just go through all the things on our website and then give you a chance to ask any questions. The locker rooms are here, by the way, and that's where the restrooms are. There are other restrooms, dry restrooms here and there, but those are for the volunteers and officials and coaches. So we're asking the swimmers to use the locker room restrooms only for this meet. And that's different from our GCY practices. At our GCY practices, we do use these dry bathrooms, but for the meets, it's the locker rooms. Okay. And the next is the heat sheets. And to be honest, I haven't even looked at the heat sheets yet, but they're out. And like I said, the timeline was pre-scratched. So I think this has gotten a little bit better as far as the timeline goes. So the heat sheets are posted and ready to go. We'll be using 10 lanes with the exception of the AM session where we have the 8 and unders. I believe we're only using, no, we're using 10 lanes there too. Okay, good. So using a 10 lane course, it looks like all the way through. So I'm to the bottom of my page. I'm not going to pull up all those heat sheets, but we'll certainly email them out after this and get them to your teams. It is on the GCY Mako's website as well under the meet event page, so you can find them there. But having gone through all that, Cynthia, our swim team admin at GCY, is there anything I left out before we turn it over to questions and answers? Or that we need to cover?
No, that sounds good. The timeline is pretty accurate at this point. All the scratches have been put in. So whatever is there is probably what we are going to be close to.
Okay, and the reason I said that is I didn't run a mine's from last week. I mean, that's an old timeline.
Right.
Right. It's probably pretty the same. Yeah. And we've been beating those at most of these meets, but this one will be a little bit different because we're doing dive overs.
I do have a question. Closing on time tomorrow.
I think we will, for the swimmers for the 25s, we'll have to come up with a way to get them to the other side of the pool for their masks.
Okay.
But we'll let them know tomorrow or on Saturday.
All right, another question I saw on the live was about the live stream. The live stream will be on the Greensboro Aquatic Center Facebook page. So if you go to their Facebook page, it should be running live up in the left-hand corner. They start the live stream 5 to 7 minutes before each session starts.
Yes, there will be buckets or baskets for the swimmers to place their belongings in. And they'll come in, put their belongings in the baskets. And then a volunteer is going to swap the baskets so that those baskets go to the cool down area. And then an empty set will be there for the next heat coming in.
And I'm reading the chat box now. The swimmers do not have to provide timers, obviously, but counters for the distance night for the 500 and the thousands. I know there's a couple teams that have like all their swimmers in the thousands, so there's no swimmers there. I've got at least 2 counters who are staying through the meet. So GCY has 2 extra counters that will be lending out, and we're still working on that. So I think we'll have more, but yes, we do need to provide your own counter. If you do have a swimmer, I guess in that 1,000, I think that's going to be the toughest one. I think we'll be able to put it together for the 500s, but if you do have a swimmer in that 1,000 who you're worried about having a counter, parents just kind of hang close with us in the parking lot, and we'll definitely reach out if we need you.
On the tech suit issue, 12 and unders cannot wear tech suits. That's a USA Swimming rule and a Y rule. There are some swimsuits, if you go to USA Swimming, there are some approved suits. Some of the aqua blades are approved because they are knit fabric and they do not have bonded seams. So sorry guys.
Oh, Keegan, I'm excited.
Cynthia.
1,000. Keegan, we'll talk about that later, man, but there are some open lanes in that 1,000.
I do have a few open lanes.
I don't have the authorization to say yes, but we'll ask meet management on deck and see, Keegan, if we can get you in that 1,000. We'd love to have you in there.
All right,
As long as we're, yes.
Can you repeat what you just said about the tech suit? I'm sorry. Which one did you say were not allowed?
Well, there is a whole list of swimsuits that are not allowed. Essentially, tech suits are not allowed for 12 and unders.
Okay, good. We're above that. Okay, thank you.
All right, Brad, Tammy put it in the chat and I have the same question, and I don't know about the others that are in the second warm-up. What do you want us to do with our kids? I mean, like Tammy mentioned, if like, whatever, I don't remember. If the second warm-up starts at whatever, 5:45, can those teams meet at 5:30 like the early teams met at 5?
Yeah, I think that's, John, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, I think that's fine. I did not ask GAC staff today during our meeting. This is the first meet where they've had 2 warm-ups. There's generally been 1 warm-up. So I don't know if they will give their spiel, or they may be tied up with other things with the volunteers giving their spiel. So I don't know if you'll have that GAC staff kind of talking to the kids. I'm not sure if they're ready for that, but that's the only thing you would be missing. And to be honest with you, I think we're going to be okay without that. But yeah, so you're okay to meet your team 15 minutes prior to your warm-up time and walk in then. I think it'll be easier on everybody if you had as many as you could kind of walk in together, and that's probably what they're looking for. Does that answer that question?
I think so. Tammy, did it answer your question?
Okay. Yes, you'll exit the building at the same doors you enter. That is correct. It's slightly different. It's a set of like 4 to 6 doors. I can't remember, but you come in to the right of those, you leave to the left of those, or you leave to the right as you're walking out. But it's the same set of doors that you'll walk in and out from. So the doors that you see your swimmers walking into the meet will be the same doors that your swimmers should be coming out of the meet.
Hey, Brad, as we mentioned earlier today, if a swimmer is running behind, there will be a GAC personnel there to screen and walk those swimmers in.
Yes, there's a show pro person there. Correct. If you know someone's coming and give them a heads up, that might be a good idea too, as well. And I know we'll probably have a lot of that on Friday night. I'm assuming with some of the events starting later, and that being a little bit more predictable, and most swimmers only swimming one event. So I think we're expecting that, especially for Friday.
Great, thank you.
I got one more question, and it's Cynthia, I guess. For the updated session report, after all the scratches, that's after some, is that new from what you sent to us the other day? Yes. Can I access that on the GCY website, or will you email that updated? What way do I need to go for that?
Brad, did you put that one out? Is that what you put on the?
That's the only one I got. The one from last week is, if there's another one, I don't have it. That's the original one on our website.
Okay,
If you have a,
I'll send you the,
okay.
I thought I sent you a new one. Yeah, I'll send you one, John.
Okay, thank you.
And I honestly don't remember if there's chairs for the timers. I think there are. Yeah, I think there are chairs for the timers. It's 1 timer per lane this meet. So there are, yes, definitely there are chairs for timers. What if there is a positive test after the meet? What would be the protocol for the situation? We'll notify the coaches of that positive swimmer, or they'll notify us if it's them. We'll make sure that it's communicated to the teams, and if make the determination at that time if there was close contact as defined by the CDC. And with the way we're doing the meet, and keeping everyone socially distanced, we're thinking that this swim meet would not be defined as being in close contact with that positive case. So you wouldn't necessarily have to quarantine. I don't know the general team rules, but if you were sitting, that person should reach out to the people they feel like they were in close contact with, I guess. Cynthia, I didn't really answer that question well, I don't think. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit, or what is there any?
I'll elaborate
needed?
Tiny bit.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks, John. Yeah.
Just from a North Carolina swimming standpoint, I mean, every person that puts in a meet sanction says these are what their protocols are going to be, and these are the protocols we're going to follow. And every team that does that and does not follow those protocols is no longer going to be hosting meets. So when we host, when Brad hosts, when whoever hosts, we set these protocols in place. So as Brad stated, our goal is that, God forbid, should there be a positive test afterwards, that we ran things in a way that there was not close contact, because safety is our #1 priority. I was talking for North Carolina swimming. I was not talking for Brad or Cynthia there. So they can disagree or chime in on their own.
Sounds good to me.
No, that
is our goal.
That's exactly what my thoughts were.
Yeah, and we really, if parents, you can impress upon your children, keep those social distancing, because that prevents them from getting COVID, should anybody be positive, and wearing that mask. And you will, unfortunately, we will be pretty hard on the kids and, you know, tell them to put their masks on. So they will, you can tell them they'll expect to see that if they, and hear that if they do not wear their masks. It's just, we want to keep them safe. We want to keep everybody safe.
I don't see any other questions in the chat right now, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, Brad, Cynthia, GCY, the GAT, for putting together this event and giving the kids the opportunity to race. That's what we're all about. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, John. I did see a question about heat sheets. If you missed the first part of it, we just ran those off. They're posted on our website right now, and I will email those out to the teams like right after this Zoom meeting tonight. So you'll be using the heat sheets for your particular session, and those are available as of
They've
like,
also been uploaded to Meet Mobile.
all right.
Yes, to Mike's question. I mean, it's an approved meet, not sanctioned, but the times do count for 14 and up.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, and if there's anything else, just ask. We've had some meetings beforehand last week and today. Your coaches and teams will know most of the answers, I think. So, but if you have anything else, just definitely feel free to reach out. And thank you all for attending tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's late, and we are just finishing our practice here at the GAC now. So I really appreciate everybody attending, and we're looking forward to hosting another great meet. And thanks for attending. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, Brad. Will you email the recording of this so we can post it?
I will.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Cynthia,
Yeah,
are you covered?
I'm sorry.
Are you covered?